I want to bring to your attention some Piers Morgan tweets. Here is the timeline during the game yesterday, 4:45pm. More nonsense from Game Destroyer VAR, pathetic. 5:49pm, come on Arsenal, we're the better team, bury them. 5:53pm, great news, Fred's coming on. 5:57pm, get a bloody grip Arsenal. 6:04pm, lost the plot. I mean, he's probably a lot of us right now, actually. I'm very pleased to say that joining us now on The Breakfast Show is Arsenal superfan and Talk TV presenter Piers Morgan. Good morning, Piers.
Morning, Piers.
Good morning. If I could have scripted a worse morning to be on with you lot, it would be now. But anyway, there we go.
And then add Jamie O'Hara to it.
Yeah. Well, I've looked at the league table and I've suddenly cheered myself up. So we're fine. We're still top. We're good, thanks.
Right. How long do you think that's going to last, Piers, do you reckon?
I am not quite as optimistic as I was yesterday. I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because I do actually think what was encouraging, all I've been ranting about with Arsenal for a number of years now, is I want us to have a properly competitive team. And I do feel that we now have a competitive team. And I felt for 2/3 of the match yesterday, we were as good, if not better, than United. I think Arteta's substitutions, that kind of Hail Mary pass he threw, was way too early, and we lost all our structure and then got beaten in the end on paper quite badly. But I think that is, that's indicative. Arteta remains a young, fairly rookie coach, and he's going to have moments like that. But do I think we've made progress? Yes. Do I think that the signings of Jesus and Zinchenko in particular and the return of Saliba have given us a spine to the team which we massively lacked last season? Yes. So I'm more positive than I thought I'd be this morning because I do see proper green shoots.
Yeah.
Piers, I want to say to you, mate, you're going to get plenty of allies in the studio and myself this morning regarding some of the VAR decisions at the weekend. However, mate, you're not suggesting that it wasn't a foul on Eriksen, are you?
Oh, come on, you of all people, you think that was a foul? If you had gone in, Ali McCoist, if you had gone in that lightly on a player in your playing career, you'd have dropped yourself for being such a wet barnet. It was a complete and utter fiasco. The idea, I watched Roy Keane try to say with a straight face, I guess it's now a foul. Roy Keane! Really? After what you did on a football field? The truth is, it wasn't just soft, it was pitiful. It's a kind of challenge where a manager screams at his player, go in 10 times harder. And then we have to go back and go through this utter water torture of VAR where we all sit there at home on our sofa for 5 minutes while some gawk referee looks at his screen from every single possible angle and then makes the wrong decision. And we saw it at West Ham, we saw it at Newcastle. VAR is destroying football. It is wrecking the fun, sucking the joy. It's not even correct most of the time. It is a total farce. And we all know it. And every pundit and every sports writer that continues to defend VAR should be fired from their job because I would say 98% of world football fans think it's a joke.
I almost agreed with everything that you said this morning until you said we should fire everyone who agrees with it.
Ali, you're done, mate. See you later.
And then I felt like I need to balance it a bit. Where do we stand at the moment with Arteta? Because I know you and me have had different opinions of him in the past. Are you pro Arteta at the moment?
Well, it's very interesting with Arteta. So I watched the whole Amazon doc, which I was dreading and thought would just confirm all my views. I'm still not convinced about the Aubameyang thing and the idea that it's been good for Arsenal that we send Aubameyang for nothing to Barcelona. He bangs in goals for fun at one of the biggest teams in the world, and a few months later signs for Chelsea for £12 million plus a top player. So we get none of that value as far as I'm aware, and now he's leading the line for Chelsea. That confirms to me the fact he's gone back to work with Tuchel confirms to me that, again, Arteta is a rookie manager and didn't know how to manage proper world-class talent. However, and it's important however, I do think the transfer business in the last window was excellent. I'd have liked us to have signed another midfielder before it was too late. I think that's going to come back and bite us with the injuries. But I do think Arteta is growing as a manager. And I do think another thing which is really important, the fans believe in him and the players clearly believe in him. And so I think it would be very churlish of me to continue being this voice of negativity when there's clearly been improvement. And I do think Arsenal are in a much better position now. So I'm happy to start trusting this process. However, again, yesterday we faced our first tough game of the season and we lost. So there is a reality check here, which is how are we going to do against the top 6 teams? Because they're all strong, and we've had a real problem beating them in the last 2-3 years. So, the jury's out. But I think the jury is feeling warmer to him than it was.
Yeah, that's very big of you, Piers. I have to agree with you.
Doesn't come easy.
And it doesn't, no. But I have to agree with you on the situation with the midfielder, because I think if we now miss out on that, on some sort of, what's this noise? Oh, I see, yeah.
Reverse.
Don't do that, because I thought there was something wrong with the airways there for a second.
Well, I see, but I would question a reverse. I do think that I believe you can change an opinion if facts change. Yeah. If we were in a position now without Jesus, Zinchenko and Saliba, I think we'd have the same problems we had last year, and I would not be supporting the process. But when you sign trusted world-class players who've won things, you can see the difference. Jesus, in particular, his whole attitude has lifted this team. And Zinchenko looks like a guy that's won a lot of trophies. And we didn't have that in the ranks. So I think I have moved with facts as they've changed. It's not a reverse, just to be clear.
Piers, you lost the game, obviously, against Manchester United yesterday. You had a bet, didn't you? Gary Neville, charity bet?
I did. I had a £1,000 bet with Neville. I felt supremely
only
overconfident, as often my problem. Well, I was thinking that he probably hasn't got that much left. I wanted to go easy on him. So I have had to pay this morning to the Bury Cancer Support Centre, which is an excellent charity. So I'm happy to do that. And yeah, look, I think United, they look unrecognisable from a team that got beaten 4-0, don't they? So I think Van Haag, we'll see how he gets on. Ten Hag, I can't remember his name. We'll see how he gets on. It's an interesting thing with him because as a player and a manager, he's never won anything outside of Holland. Can he do it in the Premier League? I would say if I'm a United fan, you're feeling a lot more positive about that after what you've seen against Liverpool and Arsenal. So, I look at managers and I think, what do they do with existing players? When you watch Rashford yesterday, he's completely unrecognisable from the Rashford of last season. So whatever is going on there on the training ground, it is working for some of those players.
Just a quick one, Piers, then I take it with Arsenal dropping their first points, United actually showing a bit of consistency but still dropping points, Liverpool not looking anything like the team they were last year. Is it a straightforward City title this year?
Yeah, no, I made some predictions for the Sun back at the start of August, and I said that City will romp to the title. And the reason for that is they've got the best player in the league in De Bruyne, and they've got the best striker in world football in Erling Haaland. And I said, Haaland, will take time to settle in. I was wrong about that. He hasn't had any time to settle in. And I said, when he does settle in, he'll be like King Kong on Manhattan real estate when it comes to Premier League defenders. And on that, I have been proven to be completely correct. He is an absolute monster of a footballer. I'm thrilled he's in the Premier League because I love watching him play. He's one of those guys, and I'm sure, Ali, you appreciate this more than anybody else. It's not like he scores wonder goals all the time. Yeah. He just happens to always be in the right place, and his finishing is ice cool. Brilliant. Ice cool. And I think he's fantastic to watch. So I'm afraid, unless he gets injured and De Bruyne gets injured, City are going to run away with this. But the battle for top 4 is going to be probably as ferocious as we've ever seen it in the Premier League, and that's going to be great to watch.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want. Piers, where can we hear or see you next?
Well, I've been back on my show, Piers Morgan Uncensored, and I know that you'll enjoy hearing me uncensored. Particularly, I can tell by the Twitter reaction to my appearance now. Lots of people loving hearing my melodic views on life, crossing the airways. So, Piers Morgan Uncensored, Talk TV, 8 p.m. tonight. New Prime Minister and Princess Pinocchio back in England just when we least wanted her to come back. So I'll be addressing both of these seismic world events, and I will not be holding back.
Excellent. We look forward to that. Piers Morgan,
Enjoy.
thank you very much.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.